All right, let us begin. First of all, let me just kick us off. I want to thank everybody for coming in today on vacation time and time off. We wanted to have a day where we could meet together with the RC role and the AP role and just give you guys some instruction and training, an overview of what the weekend is going to look like and what some of your responsibilities will be on site. There's going to be a meeting with Tim Bell on Thursday to give kind of an overview of everything that's going to be happening for all the staff, and so he'll cover everything going on with volunteers and when they're going to come and how they're going to be assigned in stores and to different roles around the arena. Paul Roop will talk about traveling and shuttles and scheduling to get people from the hotel to the arena and that kind of thing, and the speakers and all. So that'll be a higher level meeting, but we wanted to have a meeting just with you guys so that we could talk about much more specifics of what to expect for you. So let me start. Let me open us up in a word of prayer, and then we'll dive right in. Father, we just thank you for a new day and for what you have called us here to do and to be a part of. And we are excited about these events and continue to pray that you would bring people. We know that it's going to be a professional, well-run event with great information that changes lives. And so we just pray, Father, that you would bring people to come and allow them to be touched and changed by you when they're there. So thank you for our meeting and our team. May we learn much today. In Jesus' name, amen. Now, I heard it's Mark Lapp's birthday. We better sing. All right? We better sing. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mark. Happy birthday to you. Fantastic, Mark. Okay. Okay, we're going to be covering a lot of ground today. We're going to be covering a lot of ground, and we're going to, I know you'll have questions. We're recording this so that people can listen to it later, those who aren't able to be here with us today. I know Michelle Ellis is going to want to hear. Sue Stokes will probably want to hear. So when you've got a question, please speak it into the microphone so we can make sure they hear everything we're talking about. We've got a break scheduled at 10:20, and then we've got lunch at 12 noon, just so you know that, okay? Kind of cover some logistics. If you need to get up and grab a cup of coffee or a donut, just feel free. Again, we've got a long ways to go, lots to cover. If you've got a question that comes up, write it down, especially ladies, write it down on the back of your information sheet, okay? If it's a specific RC type question, in your front left of your folder. If it's a specific RCC type of question, write it down on the back of that sheet, and Tammy and Deb and all of you can have that conversation about that topic when we split into our split sessions at around 10:30, okay? Actually, closer to 10:50. Okay, but just write those down so you don't forget them, all right? Let me give you an overview of where things stand today on these three events. Everybody knows that tickets haven't really been being sold at the kind of pace everybody had hoped and thought they would. But let me let you know right where things are today as of this morning. Right now, Chicago is standing at 3,367. Portland at 2,090. And Washington, D.C., 3,372. So Chicago and D.C. are almost identical to one another. So that's a lot fewer people in Chicago than what we were hoping to see at this point, just a week and a half out. So Paul, Tim, Lynn Juckett made the decision yesterday. They're going to drape off the upper level, the 200 level in the arena. They're going to drape that off, and all the people who have already bought a ticket upstairs will be sent downstairs to the 100 level when they get there. So when they arrive at the door and they give their tickets to the usher who's standing there with his check-in machine, he'll scan the ticket. The ticket will understand that this is a upper level, 200 level ticket. He'll tear that ticket up, throw it away, and right there on site, he'll reprint them another ticket to give them a seat down in the 100 level, okay? So by that process, we're going to drive everybody from upstairs to downstairs, and it'll all be draped off and dark upstairs to make it look more full, all right? So that's what they're planning to do in the arena to drive people downstairs. We're not going to have any floor, any RC area on the main level. We'll only be in the concourses. I will get to this map and some photos in just a minute, but keep this in mind through the day and through the entire weekend when we're in the time leading up to it and while we're there. This is not a WTR. We're so used to working at WTRs and having everything flow very smoothly, and we know what we're doing and we're comfortable. This is far from a WTR. So the words for the weekend are going to be flexibility. You've got to be flexible. You've got to be extremely flexible, okay? The other word is patience. It's so different from what you're used to, from what we're all used to, that we've got to be very, very patient with each other, okay? And grace is the third word that I'm using. Give grace. Give grace every time you turn around. When something isn't right where it should be, or you might not have something right when you need it, give grace. Be patient, be flexible, be gracious. We're going to kind of be repeating those throughout these next several days, but just keep that in mind, and it's going to help you be more comfortable and calm. Roll with it, okay? Just roll with it. It's been 10 years since we've done this. Nobody really remembers anymore how it works, and so much has changed. So be flexible, be patient, and be gracious, okay? All right, so here's what we're going to do in Chicago. This is a concourse level map of Chicago. 2 weeks ago, we had made the decision based on attendance to eliminate this store 2 and 3 up in the upper right-hand corner. We were going to eliminate those stores, and we were just going to go with the others that remained, and we were going to send in one less staff member. Well, now with the plan for tickets is that starting next Wednesday, the week of the event, in a last-ditch effort to boost ticket sales, they're going to go on live radio in Chicago beginning next Wednesday and make the announcement, unless we sell like 1,000 tickets a day between now and then, okay? Unless that happens, they're going to make an announcement, excuse me, they're going to go on live radio, Lapine, Dennis, and say Family Life doesn't want finances to be a hindrance to anyone to attend this event. So if you're interested, if you'd like to come down to the box office at the arena Wednesday through Saturday morning. We will give you a free ticket, all right? So they're going to start to give away tickets for free to anybody who wants to come beginning a week from Wednesday. So that introduces a whole bunch of unknowns. We don't know what the response to that is going to be, so we decided to open up the store we had previously closed. So we're going to go with a total of 9 stores around the concourse. Let me just show you, and I just quick overview, kind of what that looks like. 9 stores. It's going to look like this, okay? So you can see in this corner, and up here again in this corner, there'll be 2 stores quite near to one another, but these are the largest merchandise spaces in this whole arena. And these here and here and down here are smaller spaces for stores, but due to the hopeful influx of more people, we're gonna open up these spaces and we're gonna have 7 stores. So let me give you a little bit of an idea of what it looks like, what you're gonna see when you get there, okay?
You mentioned that they're going to drape the arena, but if we kind of have a figure of we're going to have some of that influx of tickets because of the free promo, will they undrape then, or will there still be enough seats even if we have 1,000 or 2,000 people that take part of the free tickets?
I'm sure they'll kind of flex with that as it goes, but right now, last I heard is there is something like 5,500 available seats down in those levels.
There
down
should
below.
still be enough seats. I doubt that they'll open up the top.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
the drape will stay. All right, so I'm gonna fly us through so everybody has an idea of what this arena looks like on the inside and what the concourses look like, and ladies, where your store might be. You can see on the map where your name has been written, and we've assigned a store to you in that place. And I'm gonna talk through a little bit more about that in a bit, but let's look at a few pictures. Start on the east side of your map. We're gonna work our way around. Yeah, east is down where you'd normally expect south to be, but this is just the layout of this arena and the way it's oriented. So, store 7 is down at the bottom. Now, this is a tight space. Here's a door here. This is on the inside wall going into the arena. The arena bowl is back down this hallway, so it's behind this wall. These are doors leading into box suites, okay? So this space is actually going to be used by one of the radio stations, one of the local radio stations. So there's going to be a radio booth here. Here's the opposite side of that space. This is where the Family Life Central Info booth is going to be, in this space between these 2 doors. This is about 16 feet between these, and we cannot block any doors. So Family Life Info booth is going to be there. And I guess this is another look of where the radio space is going to be. So I don't have a view of what store 7 is going to look like, but it's a built-in space that's shared with a concession stand. You can see if you look closely at the print, the concession stand is arena side. The merchandise stand part of this area, there's a big table and some space there, or a big countertop, door side, and Debbie Jeske, who was going to be coming in with her husband and be volunteers, since we had to open up another store, they are going to be working in that store, okay? Does that make sense to everybody? Let's come around, work our way around to the east side. We're just going to swing. I just did the east side. Okay, let's come over to the south side. South side's where Shirley's going to be. Now, in your space, Shirley, right on here, section 102, you can see another place where a radio station is going to be set up in here with a couple of tables. So we have a radio station there. And you know what? This is, let me Take that back. All right. This is actually where Deb's store is going to be. This is store number 8. See it down there in the southeast corner? All right. In the 3 corners of our arena, where 8 and 9 are, where 2 and 3 are, and where 5 and 6 are, we've got space for 2 stores, and each one has a big wide open space, and each one has a built-in place where when there are events here, they're selling t-shirts and merchandise. We're going to use both of these spaces for stores, and so this is what store 8 looks like. We're probably still going to put pipe and drape up on these countertops and display our things, but store 8 here on Deb's space is this, and her store 9 will be set up in this open area. You can see where it's just a big kind of an L space when you look at the picture or at your map. So that's what Deb's kind of double store area is going to look like, all right? Okay, let's swing ourselves over to the north side. All right, north side looks like this. These 2 blue lines, this is especially critical for Shirley and for Liz out in the main entryway areas. The arena is telling us we can be no more than 6 feet off this back wall out into the concourse. And so he said the front of this blue line, we'll have to confirm that. I don't know for sure if it's the front of the line or the inside of the line, but either way, we've got 6 feet that we can come from the wall. It looks like the inside, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So we're going to have a 6-foot table that comes from the wall out, and then you'll have 2 more 6-foot tables that make an L in your space. And so Shirley and Liz, you're going to be working, we're calling it a mini store, okay? I'll get into a little bit more detail on what's going to be different about that. But this is going to be, it's going to be a small space. This is another view of where store 4 is going to be, right here between these 2 doors. We've got 16 feet space here, so we're planning 2 6-foot tables end to end with another 6-footer coming off the wall. So we make an L. So that's where your store is going to be. And then lastly, this is a view of store number 5 and 6 down there at the bottom. All 3 corner areas kind of look the same. Let's swing ourselves around and up, and we're going to go up to the west end where Linda's going to be working. Linda, similar to the others, all 3 corner spaces are, even though you really haven't been able to see it until this picture, they're wider, they're more open. Here's the built-in countertop space. And over here in this corner is the bigger, more open, where you'll have another store on this side. This is just a view of the side of that built-in area. And lastly, a more open view of what you're going to have as store 3. Okay, Linda? So last, let's come back around and let's look at the warehouse space. The warehouse, just so everybody knows, our merchandise and our load-in is down in the southeast corner where you see the carpenter shop. See that on your map? All the way down southeast corner. Now, the production unload, everything coming in for the stage and the production of this operation is going to be way straight up from that in the southwest corner. Let me get back to... Here's where production is going to load in, okay? Way up here. This is where all the union labor is going to come in. They're going to be doing their work starting at about 7 in the morning. Our equipment coming in, our Zytex, our pallets, is all coming in at this end of the building, 7 in the morning. And this is where we're going to start offloading the trucks. We're going to offload things into the carpenter shop, and we'll come straight across the hallway, and we're going to put Zytex here in this DePaul room, pallets probably out in this hall and open area here. So let me let you know what that looks like. Here's the DePaul room. where we're going to ultimately we'll store Zytex and pallets and things in here. These tables will all be cleared out. This is the south entrance where things are going to be coming in, or they may be coming in through the carpenter's shop, which is off to the left of this picture. But we'll wheel pallets if we need to, or Zytex through these double doors into that DePaul room, and we can stage up our other things out in this big hallway. And guys, I'm going to give you assignments on who's going to be on the truck, unloading, who's going to be on the ground, because it's not a loading dock. We can't just back the truck up to a dock and we're wheeling it off. A loader is going to have to come. We'll have a man on the truck shuttling pallets to the back, similar to what we do out here for load and unload. Last picture of the warehouse area. This is just the DePaul room again from the other side. Okay? So that gives you an idea of what the arena looks like, what the concourse spaces look like, a quick idea, ladies, of what your store space is going to look like. But again, it doesn't look like WTR. Be flexible, be patient, be gracious, okay? You've got to be.
And don't yell.
Don't yell at me. Don't yell at your husband. It's not his fault either.
Hey, Doug, do you know, I noticed carpeting in areas. Is that a very thin carpet? Is it a padded carpet? Because if we're moving pallets and skids and that on that type of product, if it's a thicker type of carpeting, it's going to be real difficult to move.
It's thin, and it would be something like what we've got here in this room, on a cement floor, and it's thin. But I'm planning to have teams of 2 guys pushing pallets, pushing Zytex, okay? All right. So that gives you an idea of what it looks like inside. But a couple things I need to know before we get much further. I need to confirm from everybody what your travel plans are. So if you just send an email to me, I know Paul has it, but send me an email of what your travel plans are. You're driving, you're flying. We've got a walkthrough. Everybody make note of this. We've got a walkthrough in the arena at... I think it starts at 8:45 on Thursday, a.m. We have to be out of the building by 11 o'clock because they're going to turn it over, and I believe there's a basketball game in the arena that night. So 8:45 to 11, we've got a walkthrough. So I'd like everybody there ready to go at about 8:30 so nobody misses out and you're not, pulling up late or something. So you people who are driving, get yourself to the Allstate Arena by 8:30, and then our flight arrives at about, what is it, Deb? 7:50, our flight arrives. So we're going to be quick coming over from the airport to the arena, and we'll meet you there. But I have not gone out of O'Hare at 8 in the morning. But we've got to get in and out of the arena between 8:30 and 11 in the morning. Okay, so even before we stop at the hotel. Which door we're going to meet at, I'll get that from Paul, because I don't know that, Dave. I'm not sure. But just so you know, down here on this east side, I believe it's called Mannheim Road, and the hotel is about 2 miles south of the arena on this road, so they're both very close to one another. And I think we pull up here on the south side of the arena and go in there, but we'll get that for sure from Paul. So confirm your travel plans to me, and be sure you're there at the arena by 8:30 in the morning. Let me talk real quickly about store assignments. Linda, we're going to start up on the upper corner. Linda, you're going to be up here in stores 2 and 3 where you've got a corner and a built-in space. You're actually going to have the Podolacs are coming as volunteers. So you'll have them working with you in your store. And while you will be the manager, you'll be running both of those stores. You can work with the Podolacs as to, so that it's comfortable and you make sure everything's covered, but you'll be the primary person in charge. Now, before I go any further, men, Men, I'm going to assign you to different tasks all through the day on Friday. And I'll give you a list of what you're supposed to be doing, and you just keep following that list. And so you're not going to be spending time in your wife's store, much time in her store on Friday like you would if you were an AP at a WTR. So Friday, you're just doing all the different tasks that I need you to do as we set up all the stores. But day of event, you will basically be the AP in your wife's store, okay? You'll be helping her with whatever she might need on Saturday. Tammy, question?
How are you planning to use?
Greg Podolak?
Yes. What about Greg? I know that Chris will be an official AP for you on Friday like these other guys will, but Greg and Laura are just coming in on Friday morning.
Yeah.
Are you
yeah.
going to pull him to do AP duties, or will he just be a regular volunteer?
Greg will be an official volunteer. The volunteer team are coming in at 10 o'clock, and Greg will be one of the volunteers just like all the rest of them, okay? So, I would say at the end of the event when we're closing down, if you need help with putting computers and things away, he knows that, so he could help with that. However, day of event, and he's not going to get there till Saturday with the rest of the volunteers. I'm sorry, Friday. And so Greg will be a regular store volunteer, okay? Yes. Laura will too, okay? So that's a unique store. We come down here into store number 4, and we've got a 16-foot space between these doors. And so for Liz and for Shirley across in store number 1, we've got this mini store that's 2 6-footers and the other 6-footer coming off the wall, a tiny space. We're gonna sell only apparel and branded merchandise, the mugs, the water bottle, the keychain, and Barbara's everything. We still do plaque and we still do picture frame. You're gonna sell only those things in those 2 stores. Now you say, why are we doing that? I've talked to Nicole Burns. We thought she was going to be here with us. She's working with Ron Deal right now, but she came to us from Women of Faith. So she's got a lot of background in arena events and things. Her experience tells her that your branded merchandise very often tends to outsell your books. So she said, don't be surprised if you sell way more T-shirts, hoodies, water bottles, keychains, some of those kind of things, something that somebody would want to buy to remember the event that way, if those outsell your books. So following that logic and that experience, we thought, if we've got such a tiny space in store 1 and store 4, let's highlight the things that have the highest probability to sell, the things that people are probably going to be most excited about. So you'll have the T-shirts, the hoodies, the hat, the water bottle, the mug, the keychain, those kind of things, okay? We're going to highlight those things in your stores. All your books, your marriage pack, those kind of things, we'll have in other places, okay? And some of yours that arrive on your pallet, we'll probably just send it back into the warehouse, all right? So you'll just keep those things in your stores. And we'll talk more detail about that later. We swing our way down the concourse, and we're here in stores 5 and 6 and 8 and 9. Those are going to be just like Linda's stores up in the top corner. A double store, more room, 2 spaces selling everything we have in those corners down there. And down here in store 7, where Debbie Jeske will be, again, we can't be up on this wall because we've got the radio booth here and the Family Life Information Center booth here. So we're just going to sell marriage packs. That's the other thing that we're going to highlight. The marriage pack has a page ad in the manual or the program that everybody's going to get. Lapine is going to talk about the marriage pack from the stage, give it a promotion in much the same way that our speakers do at WTR. So we wanted to have a place where they could go and find that marriage pack, and we highlight it. So we're only going to be selling marriage packs down here at store 7. All right? Tammy, question? And the We Still Do. We'll have Barbara's plaque, Barbara's frame. Those will be the things that'll be down here in store 7. Okay? Question? Yeah, and and the individual titles, so they can buy either the marriage pack or the individual books if they're interested in those down there. Okay? So I'm going to change gears. I'm going to talk a bit about internet. Chicago, let me ask first, does anybody have any questions to this point? Everybody tracking with us? Okay. Chicago is an old building. It's all solid concrete block walls, cement floors. It fits this group well. You'll be very comfortable there, especially Mark, having just had a birthday. Okay. So what comes with an old building is old internet and old people. Chicago has almost no wireless internet at all. And they've only got a few places where they've actually got hard internet plugs into the wall. So Nathan Walker of our IT team and Michael McGuire have been working with the arena and Onetics, who they contract all their internet out through. Been working with them to get us internet in all these spaces. Now, our first choice was that everything, all your computers would be hardwired so that we're the most confident and sure about our connection and our speed. Well, we've got a hard, if I remember all this right, we've got a hard internet port up here in Linda's area, down in Deb's area, and down in Michelle's corner, okay? We've got hard internet there. In the other spaces, Shirley, Liz, Debbie Jeske, and the store across the way from Deb, Linda, and Michelle, there is no port. The arena said, we're not even going to let you run a line up and over from one to the next. So what are we going to do? Nathan and Michael have been talking about it, and the plan is that the stores that have the hard port, we'll set those up plugged in to the wall just like we do at a WTR. We'll have the hub under the table, and we'll run all those computers hardwired exactly like UAPs would set up at a Weekend to Remember, okay? You're tracking with me, right? You know what that means. Everything is plugged in. On the other side, and in any place where we don't have a hard port, Nathan and Michael are going to set up a little hotspot. It's going to be a hotspot that is dedicated to us. Nobody else in the arena will be able to find or even see that spot on their telephone and try to get in on it. They've got it all hidden in the background. So they're going to come through and they will set up, they'll connect the computers in any of our spaces where they're creating their own little wireless hotspot, okay? The AP and jobs that I'll give to you for your Friday, you'll set those computers up. You'll get them all set up and wired and or the power run to them and everything like that. You'll have them all ready to go. But Nathan and Michael will come through. They'll set up the router. They'll make sure it's seeing the signal. They'll do all of that. So we're gonna create little wireless hotspots everywhere we need to, so that we've got internet for all of our computers in all of our places. All right? Does that make sense? Any questions? Okay. I got an email late yesterday from Nathan, and we're still in conversation with the arena as to how much it's going to cost us to do this. Up until yesterday, they hadn't even given us prices that were solid. Well, we'll get there. We'll get you something, and it's only just now starting to come in. We're still not there. So that's the internet connection plan for everybody, okay? And that's how we're going to get internet into the spaces that don't have a hardwire. And that's Chicago only. Once we get to Portland and Washington, D.C., much newer arenas, they've revamped and spent millions on new wireless everywhere. So in those two arenas, we're going to do wireless tests of some on the hardwire, some wireless, but we've got much more confidence at those two events in what our internet's going to be like. Tammy?
So just an FYI, Linda, Deb, and Michelle, your spaces that are built in will only have 3 computers, and
Yes.
those will be the ones that are wireless. Is that right?
That is right,
And
because
then-
it's a smaller space.
Okay.
It's a
And then
smaller
your
space.
store that's in the corner, that's the bigger store, will have 4 computers. Okay? And those are the ones that'll be hardwired. And then Liz and Shirley, your stores, because they're smaller and they're in L shape, they'll just have 3 computers. And tell me, are those hardwired or wireless?
Those will be wireless.
Wireless, okay? So you're wireless. And then Deb Jeske, again, her store will only have 3 computers, and she will also be wireless?
Nathan is checking to
Okay.
see if there's
Okay,
a
so
hard
that's an
port
if
there.
it's
That's
a
an
hard.
if.
Okay, that's a, we don't know for sure, so.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a really good point to confirm. So there will be different numbers of computers in your stores based on your space. Now, Tammy and Deb will talk more about this later, but I just want you to hear this. Again, different from a WTR, you're not going to have a cash drawer dedicated to every single computer, okay? We're going to be sharing cash drawers between sets of 2 computers. So if you've got 4 computers in your space, you're going to have 2 cash drawers, and your volunteers are going to be sharing between, okay? So what are the words we need to be? Say it. We need to be flexible, patient, gracious. You see, it really is going to be different. And so help yourself by remembering those words, okay? So that's a quick flyby of the general, where does everything stand with attendance numbers, what the internet's going to look like. Any other quick questions?
Doug,
Dave?
Will Shirley and Liz have 1 or 2 cash drawers in?
Okay, because Gary's in and he's going to talk to us about how the cash will get picked up and that whole process. But the mini stores will have 3 registers, 2 cash drawers. And the larger stores in the corners for me, Linda, and Michelle will have 4 computers, 2 cash drawers. So we'll show you when we go upstairs how we have that set up. And in the large stores where you have 2 registers and 1 cash drawer will be in the middle. Part of why we did that was, one, we don't have enough cash drawers to send to all of the arenas. And then the other reason was space in the stores. We don't have a lot of space. And the majority of your sales, like you know, are going to be a credit card. So the likelihood of the 2 registers needing to be in that cash drawer at the same time and it being very busy is slim. In the cash drawers, we're going to keep WTR gift cards, which will be for sale at the I Still Do event. So those will be in the cash drawers in a coin slot. And the rest will just be bills. And we also have finagled it with tax and everything so that we will be charging whole dollar amounts. So we will not have coin in the cash drawers, just whole dollars. So that will help to keep the transactions going more quickly as well, as far as making change for a transaction. So what it will look like is, when we thought of all different things for the credit card receipts, we're going to have each register will have a bank bag. And we talked about fanny packs or pencil boxes or baskets, but we've decided to just go with the bank bag. And so every single register will have a bank bag to put their own credit receipts in, because those will there's no way you could put them in a cash drawer, especially if we're sharing a cash drawer. You know that, even from a WTR. So that will help with keeping the cash drawer clean. The only time your volunteers will be in there is to take care of a cash transaction. So Gary is here to talk about any questions about that. I think that's really basic.
Yeah.
Doug, are you going to talk a little bit later about if a coordinator has either an IT issue or a typical resource center coordinator type of question that needs to go? How are they to communicate with you?
Yeah,
or is that part of your agenda?
That's a good question. I was going to talk about that a little later when we talk about, but everybody, I'll just say it right now, everybody is going to be wearing a headset radio. We'll communicate on site by radios. It'll kind of have a pad on one side of your head, and it's going to go over the top, and you'll have a little boom microphone. So you'll all have a radio that you're wearing, and we've got 2 designated channels for communication on that radio. Deb is going to be the head RC on site, and so all your questions first are going to funnel through her, and if she needs to bounce something off me, and when we get into the whole money operation, she'll then communicate to me, okay? And we'll talk a little bit more about radio later on, but just so you know, that's how we're going to communicate on site.
Just a question, that the WTR gift cards are only in the drawer, the one drawer, or 2 drawers?
Each cash drawer will have WTR gift cards so that they're accessible. They're, especially in the mini stores, there is not much room to scooch by because, you know, you've got the pipe and drape and the table, and your backside's pretty much against that. So each cash drawer will have gift cards. Okay.
Shirley, quick question? We do take
Yes.
checks?
We'll
just
cover
like-
that later this
Yeah,
afternoon.
yeah.
And
Cash, check, credit.
Checks can go really wherever you prefer them, in the bank bag or in the far left slot like they do at a WTR.
So I'm going to hand it off to Gary and Sandy, because as we do sales through the day, you're gonna start accumulating a lot of credit card receipts and that kind of thing, and so we don't want those to be overflowing. We don't want the cash to be overflowing in your drawers, and so these guys are going to share with you what the scoops are going to look like as they come through at designated times during the day to clear out your money and keep you going. So Gary, Sandy, I'm going to hand it off to you.
Minds of how you do finances at WTR, okay? Because, I mean, Deb and I have kind of one up because we've been listening to Gary and Sandy do this process. It's completely different than what you're used to at WTR. So just completely have a blank slate up there for right now as they explain stuff to you, okay?
Good morning. It's kind of good to be back on the team again. It's just partly. Just to let you know that our goal is to serve you, and so we will be working underground most of the day. There's a place down in the bottom part of the arenas, each arena, and we call it the locker room. We don't call it the money room. So make sure that throughout the day you never, because we're on a public channel that can be, anybody could pick that channel up. We wouldn't want to be talking about, hey, we're going to get money out of the money room, we're coming with money. So we have different terms that we use. One of them is money is always called candy. You can call it M&Ms. I'll know that. But if you need money, you just ask for. We got too much candy or whatever. You can talk about it on the air that way, but avoid using money. Now you will mess up on that because we have done this for many times and you'll forget. But I might say something like, "What kind of money?" or something like that. And I'll question you on it. But when we do to pick up the money, we won't say pick up the money. We'll say we're going to come and scoop the money. But we do have, pardon? I'm sorry, scoop the candy. Thank you. See? Yeah, 10 years I've been burnt on it because we did 26 events back in the early years when we were doing this, so I've done quite a few of them. We realize there's some different practices this time, and so we're here to kind of help you guys and serve you guys. When we do the startup candy will be about a 20 to probably 30 to 20 minutes before we'll come around, and one of us will come. Sandy and I are team players on this. We'll be at each event, and so one of us will come, and then the next time another person will come. So we try to avoid having the same person come each time. At these events, we will always have a security guard with us. An armed security guard will follow us. Now, he won't be walking next to me at any time. He always walks about 15, 20, 30 feet behind me. So I'll walk, and he's kind of scanning from back behind me. So don't expect him to walk up. When we walk into a store, he'll stand off to the side. But we will have an armed guard with us at all times. We'll have a satchel with us, and in that satchel will be a money bag, candy bag, a zippered bag, and that bag will have a number on it, and every cash drawer is numbered identical to that bag. I mean, every one has an individual bag. So Tammy and Deb have asked us to use 1 through 9, A and B. So if we walk into your store and it's store number 2, the first, I'll go up to, I'll always bring the bag, and Sandy will bring the bag, and we'll match the number to the cash drawer. We'll open the bag, and then the RCC, the store manager for that store, will put the goods in the bag. So we'll always match that. Now I think you already know this, but we don't bring accountability for every drawer. We want to give the impression of that, which is why we're doing this. We want to give the impression, because you got hundreds of volunteers, and we want to give the impression that person, everything's going in and out of that drawer. Which brings us to something else, is that if you ever need to move money from one drawer to the other drawer, even though it's all going into the pool downstairs in the locker room, you always want to buy it. So let's say that one cash drawer needs some 10s. You can take some 20s out, say you buy $100 worth of 20s, walk over and give them, so it shows accountability. Okay, again, we're looking for the impression, or the impression that we're giving accountability for every drawer. There's no way that we could keep track, because first of all, you got 2 people pulling into that drawer, but they won't know that. But you got 2 people pulling in. In the olden days, we had 1 guy pulling in, and so that was even more accountability. But in this case, we want to give the impression as much as possible that everything going into that drawer is bringing accountability. So about 10 minutes or 20 minutes, 30 minutes before opening time, which is 9 o'clock? No, the doors open at 8, so we'll start at 7:30, and whenever you say. You guys run the stores, so if you call for the startup candy, then one of us will be ready. We'll have it all, in the bags. We'll bring it around to your stores, and I think Sandy mentioned this morning that we'll let you know when we leave the room, leaving the money room. We'll call it the locker room. This is Gary, I'm leaving the locker room, or whatever, and you'll know who it is then. And so we'll be monitoring that. You'll be monitoring that channel.
And just so everybody knows, that those communications will be between me and Gary and Sandy. You will call Deb when you need a scoop or more candy in your store. You'll communicate that to her, she to me to these guys, okay? So they won't be fielding all your responses.
It'd be too much to field all of you,
Yeah.
so that's why we're funneling it through one person. Did you have a question?
Are you just bringing around? Beginning of the day, we don't need to call you.
No, you won't.
You will just bring around.
Right. In fact, you probably won't need to do
After the
it.
beginning of the day, then
You
we
probably
call
won't even need to
when-
call throughout the day, because we have scheduled scoops, unless you need something unique. But we'll bring you, initially we'll bring you $400 of startup cash. It'll be $100 each of 1s, 5s, 10s, and 20s. And so I would like you to monitor early in the day whether you need the 20s, because in the past we always had $300, we never brought 20s. But I don't know what it looks like today, and so they asked for that, and we're fine with that. So we're going to be bringing you 5 20s. So then there'll be 3 scheduled scoops throughout the day. One will come around, what is it, Sandy, 11? I don't have the schedule. I think it's 11 something, 11:15. It's on your schedule, but there'll be 2 scoops, and then there'll be another one mid-afternoon. And then the last, we call it the final scoop, will come when the stores are closed at the end of the day.
Gary, I would add one thing here. Even though it's on your schedule, it will probably be around that time.
Yeah.
But Doug will make the decision, Deb and Doug will make the decision if we need to come early or if we need to come later. It'll be their call. And they will inform you what we're going to do, and then we'll inform you when we're leaving the locker room.
Yeah.
Okay? So that way you're looking at your schedule and going, oh, they should be here in a minute. Now, number one, you're going to hear one of us say, we're leaving the locker room, we're on our way. It doesn't mean we're coming right to your store, it just means we're on our way. And Deb and Doug they'll keep you posted on that. Does that make
Question-
sense?
Yeah.
Question, if, like I need fives, would I say something like, I need 5-cent candies or something like that?
Well, if you need something within your store and you need fives,
unique.
unique. What I would do is, first of all, try to fill it within the store. Go to another drawer.
I have one drawer. No, I do have two.
Yeah, if you can fill it, then buy it from drawer to
Right,
drawer.
yeah.
And we're not taking any extra cash. We used to do that, but we're not since we're taking 20s this time. We don't anticipate a need for that. So if we do in the future, we'll have to adjust. But at this point, let's say that you have two drawers and they're both empty of fives. At that point, you need to talk to Deb or Doug and say, we need some extra candy, M&Ms or something, and then you guys will just have to figure out how to do that. You'll have to move it from her store, another store, to yours. But I don't anticipate that happening. I'd be surprised if it did, but it could. It really could.
Do store-to-store buying
Yeah.
now.
Yes.
And we'll be monitoring it, so we'll be
Yeah.
able to hear it, but we're not doing anything until Doug tells us.
Right.
We're not doing anything.
And we really
You
don't
can-
have-
You can ask for all the money you want, or all the candy you want, you're not getting anything until Doug says, yeah, we need you
Yeah.
to distribute some more, or he might say, you know, store 3 really needs some change, and they need it now. Can you run some up there? And we'll be glad to do
Yep.
that. I mean, that's not a problem.
After the initial placement of cash, we have nothing to give you. But let's say you'd need it mid-afternoon. At that point, we would have cash down in the locker room, so Doug might say, hey, we need some 5-cent candy up here or something. And so we'll know what to do, okay? When we bring that startup cash around, in that bag will be 4 bundles, and they'll be clipped. There'll be the hundreds, the fives, and so you will put it in the drawer, in all your drawers, if you have 1, 2, 3, or whatever drawers you have in your store. So we'll just open the bag. When it comes to 1A, we'll open the bag. You'll put them, click, 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 put them all in the bag, shut the drawer. Then we'll go on to the next one, pull out the next bag, and you'll be moving the money in and out. We'll just be holding it. And the same is true, and you don't have your cash drawer operator do that. You handle the money going in and out. That shows a little more accountability too. So then when the scoops come, we'll do the same thing. And at that point, here's what I want you to scoop out of your drawers. All credit card receipts. I want you just to bundle them and stick them in there. Don't just pull them all together and stick them in the bag. I'll have your bag for that cash drawer open. All checks go in the bag. Any 50s, 100s, or oddball, if you have gold dollars or sometimes you get all kinds of weird stuff. $2 bills, anything like that, all goes in the bag. And then as far as the ones, the 5s, the 10s, and the 20s, you'll take everything but about what you had for a startup. You'll know that, this is about $100 of each one. And so if you got a whole stack of ones, I want you to take all but about $100 out of there and put it in that bag. And all like 20s, leave about $100 of 20s, maybe 150, 200 of 20s, and put the rest in the bag. Now here's why. At the end of the day, it just starts snowballing. We try, throughout the day, it doesn't take us nothing to count that cash because we got all day. But at the end of the day, you guys are packing up, we're trying to count cash, we're trying to get everything organized, and plus we got the donation about then. And so things are happening really fast. It just kind of picks up speed about 3 o'clock. And so at the end of the day, with that final scoop, I would like as few of anything we can. You know what I mean? Don't bring me stacks of 1s and 5s and 10s if possible. I don't want you to run out, but I want you to use wisdom and discernment as how much you want in that drawer. So I want everything you can, especially that third scoop before the last one before the final scoop. I want as much as I can out of that drawer so Sandy and I can get ahead of the game a little bit. Because we've already gone into 7, 8 o'clock in the evening trying to count. That was before we had a counting machine. So we have a counting machine now.
Kind of synopsis of what you just said.
Sure.
So the scoops are much like when we process finances, okay? When they come to scoop, and there's kind of a 30-minute frame on your checklist on Saturday that you could have a scoop. So when you know that they're coming to your stores to scoop, so your bank bags for the 2 registers that feed into the one drawer, you need to pull the credit card receipts out of those bank bags. Those 2 bank bags go with the money that's in cash drawer A, okay? And the 2 bank bags that have credit card receipts in them for cash drawer B will go into that bag. So he's going to have 2 bags for each of your stores, okay? Because everybody has,
Every drawer, really, every drawer will have one. If you have more drawers, if you have 3 drawers, it'll be one for every drawer.
right, no, there's only 2 drawers.
Okay.
Every store has 2 drawers, whether you have 3 computers or 4 computers, okay? Does that help kind of clear it up?
Okay, it has more to do with computers. I heard you say 3, but it's 2 drawers, 3 computers, okay. We will always take a different route every time we go. So if you were the first one to get your startup cash, you might be the 3rd one or something to get the scoop. So we randomly just kind of go different directions in order to be off. So we can't be observed that way. Sandy, anything else you can think of on that?
Nope, I don't think so.
I think it's important that you guys communicate with Deb and Doug throughout, if you have needs of any kind. And, we're getting back. I mean, we did this for 4 years, but everything's a little different. And so we want to learn from this event to take into Portland. Portland's only 2 weeks later. So if there's anything you can help us with, ideas you have as far as handling it or whatever, please let us know.
Scoop, and you buy cash and to make change from your drawers. You don't just do like what we normally do at WTR and switch the money around, okay?
Have you guys heard, when are they doing the donation? When does that hit in the program?
It's on the schedule. What time?
3/17?
Yeah, 3/17.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just to give them a little bit of perspective of
Yeah.
when your world gets
Kinda
really,
crazy.
really busy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because all that comes down, funnels through that room, and then everything else. So, and again, we're there to serve you. Any way you can help us as far as getting it out early, it'd be better.
Hey, you're going to get kind of a heads up, and when things get real crazy on Saturday,
Yeah.
you're getting a heads up. Okay, a scoop will be coming, or just
It's on your schedule.
It's on the schedule,
Doug,
I know, but just
That will come from Doug.
That'll come from
That'll
Doug.
come-
Yeah, we
that'll
won't.
come from
you
Doug.
give a
We won't
verbal.
communicate with you normally.
Right. But
What-
like,
what
Doug
has
would give a
happened-
verbal. Things are crazy. Not looking at the schedule.
Yeah.
Everything's going on. Say, oh shoot! I better be ready for that scoop that's coming.
And
We'll tell you.
I was just going to say, what has happened in the past is that when it works when things go in this type of flow, it works well. Deb talks to Doug, Doug's talked to us. If anyone else talks to us, it's important for you to understand, we're not going to do anything. We're not going to do anything till we hear from Doug. So if you need something, Deb is your first point of interest. You say, Deb, man, our drawers are overflowing, or however you want to say it. Our candies, we know we've got more candy, we know what to do with.
Sugar overload.
And then she will talk
Well, it
with
might be
Doug.
better just to say, we need a scoop. That'd be the way I.
Yeah, we need a
that's what I would
scoop,
do. We need a scoop.
whatever you say. But if it
Yeah.
works that way, then it's really pretty smooth. It's not a big deal.
And just so you know, if you're crazy busy and you don't have time to look at your schedule, the scheduled scoops are after each break. We have one break in the morning, and after that, within half an hour, I would say, there will be a scoop. Then after lunch, and after the afternoon break. So those are the 3 main scheduled scoops, and then, of course, the final scoop where they will take all of the candy at the end of the day.
We try not to go out when there's a lot of people in the atrium, anywhere around it, because we don't need to fight that. So, plus the guard can't watch everybody. So we'll try to come after everybody, as soon as that session starts, literally. They're starting to talk, and Doug says, let's go. That's all he's got to do is say, let's go. And so at that point, we'll come on the air, you'll hear us, and Sandy or I will just say, we're leaving the locker room. You'll hear that. And so you'll know that within the next 15, 20 minutes, you'll have a scoop. Yeah.
Gary, I'm leaving the locker room.
Yeah.
Sandy, I'm leaving the locker room.
So you'll know who to look for. And Sandy actually suggested this morning, which I think is a good idea, if I leave store 3 and I'm heading to store 4, I might say, hey, store 4, I'm on the way. So you know that I'm heading around the corridor to your store next.
You might,
Well, again, you're the one I'm not clearing the drawers for you. Sandy and I,
Start to get the
you got to
report.
do it. No, you don't think you have to do anything special. You just need to be around the store, not running to the restroom. You know what I mean? When I walk up to the store, I'll come up to the first cash drawer, I'll open the bag and yeah. I don't think, no, I wouldn't. Yeah. Yeah. Anything you can do to make it quick.
Well, we talked about this, Sandy, at a meeting. I don't think you were there, but Gary said, normally at a WTR, we process those credit card receipts. We won't have time for that, especially since it's right after the break. So Gary said they're going to just take it and put it in.
Pile it in the bag. That's all you got to do is get it.
We're going to take it, put it in their bag, but you don't have to straighten them all out and get them. I mean,
If you do,
have
that's
a lot
wonderful.
of time and can, that's fine. But we're figuring we probably will not have time for that.
Yeah. If you had time, yeah, you're welcome to do whatever you want to help us out, but we'll do it when we get down to this room.
The schedule, it's not numbered pages, but the 2 scoops that they have in the afternoon are listed right after each other. And time-wise, if you notice in the schedule, it really needs to go down between the 2 greens.
Well, that's probably something, Doug, you need to
Something
mention
whoever's
to Lynn.
doing the schedule.
I don't know. Lynn's the one that pulls that together.
Yeah, when it comes to the money, don't worry about the
Yeah.
schedule. Listen for Doug. I mean, really, that's what it all comes down to.
Yep. No, no.
And you'll have plenty of time to get everything ready. We're not going to be at your store within 30 seconds of Doug announcing
We
that
walk.
they're on their way.
Yeah, we take a walk is really what we're doing. All right?
Thanks, guys.
Yep.
We just have a couple more things right before we take a break. And I get to show you that I still do branded merchandise. So there are several things. This bag is the I Still Do bag, and our marriage packs will be packed in this bag. So instead of the family life binders that we use, we will put all the marriage pack items into this black bag. And this will be the only way a guest can receive the bag. They will not be for sale individually. They'll just be housing the marriage pack. So if people purchase a marriage pack, this is what they will receive that in. Then, pardon me? I know, I'm so sorry, Mark. Maybe we can finagle something. I still do travel mugs. And ladies, in your information later this afternoon, we'll go over the verbiage of how things are listed in POS. This isn't a coffee cup or a coffee mug, it's a travel mug. We have the I Still Do water bottles. The I Still Do keychain, and these turned out really nice. I don't remember what we're charging for everything, but I know for the keychains it's only $3. So I think we'll probably sell quite a few of those. They're nice. The I Still Do baseball cap is what it's called. So sporting the Family Life logo, and it's on the side, not on the back. So those are the caps. I think like a WTR, this might be one of the only things that's like a WTR, but I'm pretty sure they're going to have it freezing cold in there so that we can sell our hoodies and the stadium blankets. So if couples get a little chilly in the stadium, they can buy a blanket and cozy up. Then Doug's personal favorite that we'll have, and we do have little baskets to display these, is the I Still Do Want to Kiss You lip balm. So it's kind of a nice cough medicine cherry flavor. I should not have said that. That was naughty. Cherry, yeah. So I think that's pretty much all of it. This is what we're calling our branded items. When we look things up in the POS, we'll train our volunteers and train our own brains to type ISD, and then it'll be ISD cap, ISD lip, ISD water, ISD mug, all these little keywords that I have for you that will be very easy to look things up, and we've practiced and practiced again, and it pulls up every time. when Tammy's going to talk about our dress code for the weekend, but each of the different volunteer teams will have a different color shirt. So it's all the same with the I Still Do logo on the front and then event team on the back. And our resource volunteers are going to be wearing the white. So it's very easy to identify what kind of volunteer you're seeing. Some have gray, and there are other colors for the different volunteers, the transportation team, the hospitality team, and our team gets to wear the white. So now Tammy's going to come up and tell you about our own dress code for the weekend. And if you want to later come up and take a look at the branded things, these are Tim's from his desk, so we can't take them, but feel free to come up and look at them.
Hoodies.
We do,
Right.
yes. We will be selling hoodies and T-shirts on site, but they're not here to show you a sample of. We had the sample of the volunteer shirt, but not the others.
So a couple things, and you'll hear this again later, but we've been asked to just take carry-ons if you're flying to events. And so with that in mind, I'll share a little with you about what the dress code will be for Friday and Saturday. Thursday and Sunday, it's kind of up to you. But Friday, for setup, the ladies have the pink shirts and the men have their navy shirts. And we've pulled the sizes that you asked for, but I ordered extra just in case you're not happy with the size that you asked for, okay? And then your red polos are what you wear on the day of the event on Saturday. And Tim's team, most of them, you'll see them in khakis, but we have permission to wear jeans, nice jeans, okay? Or if you have a pair of khakis that are just as comfortable as your jeans, that's fine. You can wear those as well. I forgot to ask, are capris okay? Did they say?
Ask that
Yeah,
too.
so we
But
can,
I suppose if they're nice.
yeah, I mean,
think that's
because
fine.
I would have a pair of capri khakis that I would wear if I didn't wear jeans. So anyway, yeah, I mean,
Carl and Doug say yes.
You guys know how to dress for events. You know what the professionalism of that what needs to be, and that you'll be set apart. So we have your shirts. Deb has put your shirts over here for you, 3 couples on this table, so you can pick those up today before you leave. The final thing, we just volunteered at an I Still Do years ago. I've not ever worked, but I know how my feet hurt after WTR, and I think your feet will really hurt after the I Still Do because you're on concrete for 2 days. So just make sure that you pack a really, really, really good pair of shoes. And if you're thinking that you're going to buy a new pair of shoes, I would suggest you get those like yesterday and wear them for a while so that you're not wearing brand new shoes the days of the events, okay? And so that's basically kind of all you need to know. The polo, again, you might see some of the team members have it tucked in. We have permission to wear ours untucked. So ladies, if you don't wear a belt normally and tuck in a shirt or whatever, that's fine to wear it untucked. It's got a nice finished edge on the bottom, so that's good. Is that all?
The same for men.
I'm not sure, but
Were
I mean
men supposed to
the
tuck?
men's polo
I know
is
we
the
got
same.
permission for women to be untucked.
Men should probably have it tucked in.
I think that's Paul's preference.
Okay. Any questions? Good question. No, it needs to be a closed-toe shoe. Closed-toe shoe. Good, very good question, Liz. Yeah, closed-toe shoe.
You really want to err on the side of something that you could do a lot of walking in, and in an arena, I mean, I don't even know that they'll let you in the door, if you're working backstage with open toe stuff. So, if you have that, I mean, I'll probably have, it's got to be something to give you really good support. Tennis shoes are fine.
Yeah, I was going to say that too.
Tennis shoes, especially if you've got a favorite pair. I mean, you don't want to wear something. The style right now in tennis shoes are bright orange and greens and all that kind of stuff. You don't. But you need something that is going to really give you the support during the weekend.
Can we wear bright colors on
you know
Friday?
what? Friday is a setup day. You can wear pretty much anything you want to do on Friday. Not.
The key message
You will
you want to
walk,
hear
walk,
is
walk.
you are going to walk miles, and you're walking on concrete. No soft carpet like in a hotel lobby. You're walking on concrete, and so do whatever you can do to set yourself up to feel as best you can.
Well, and
Okay.
unfortunately, too, women, like a WTR, we have chairs there to sit on during the day, and we don't have space for that, and so we won't even have chairs to sit on. So maybe Friday during setup, there'll be moments to sneak away and sit someplace, but probably Saturday we'll be on our feet the whole day. Even if we're not walking, we'll be on our feet.
All right, we are right on time. Let's take a 15-minute break, and we're going to meet back in here for a little bit more information, and then we're going to split up into men and women. Guys, we're going to go upstairs, where we're going to, Cliff is going to give some training on pipe and drape and setup of the banners. We're going to do some Zytec pack up and unpack. So we're going to have split after we have a little bit of talk again. So let's reconvene in 15 minutes, okay?